This program is sponsored by Shenanigan Sports Pub.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo, and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim flam sauce with the awesome bay with shafafa on the side.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, and we are at a fabulous place, particularly this week, with a big sports agenda on tap. Tomorrow night, going for college championship semifinal game tomorrow. This will be the place to be, Shenanigan Sports Pub.
Oh, we'll be rocking.
1300 South Federal Highway, Dania Beach, my old hood, still near and dear to my heart. Pat Utter.
Hey, how's
Happy
everybody?
New Year.
Happy New Year to you, sir.
I hope it's a healthy and prosperous one.
Same.
And how was your holidays?
Mazel tov. Very nice. Thank you very much. Had a really, really nice time. It's great to be living in beautiful South Florida. You see what's going on up north.
It's been packed.
I know, and it's been busy, and it's been vibrant, and the ocean has been gorgeous. And for all the reasons that we moved to Florida, it's wonderful to be here.
And speaking of Mazel Tov, I mean, besides Mike Lubitz being the new dad, and he's dealing with diapers and all those other lovely things with little Luca. But Mazel Tov to your son, who I understand has gotten a full athletic scholarship or some sort of scholarship.
No, he got an offer with a scholarship to, ironically. All the powerhouses down here, American Heritage, St. Thomas, and Matthew was at Chaminade. They play actually, there's a new league coming out called the Championship League. That's going to be champion leagues
for high schools.
For all the schools that actually recruit. Okay,
so they're just owning it.
It's been a long time coming.
Is recruiting and NIL now actually openly sanctioned, or are they still pretending that
they're recruiting in high school too? There's
it was never supposed to be happening, but yes, it's always happened.
It's always happened, but okay.
But I want to go over this lineup.
Before we're going to get to the food, but I wanted to give props to Matthew. I know Chaminade fell a little short in their championship game, but it's still a great run
to a team he got a 5-star quarterback, and Chaminade went with a freshman quarterback, a nice kid. And I said to myself, I don't think we're going to run the table with this freshman. Nothing derogatory to him. He's needed a little bit more seasoning. He's going to be great.
But hey,
and they fell short by 3 points.
Making it to the state finals is no small accomplishment. I know you guys get spoiled there because you guys have won so many.
Well, it goes to show his talent because he went to an open they called it a grind camp where they invite all the seniors from the area. There was 186 kids competing for 5 scholarships from predominantly Division II and Division III schools. We call it NAIA.
Right. Okay.
But it's theoretically, if you want to know, across the country, Division III. Yeah. And they have a football scholarship, and Matthew was one of the 5 guys that got it. So we're
considering. I mean, he's got real football player instincts, and even though you might be thinking he's a little undersized, he's going to grow and really turn into a beast.
He does something with wrestling too. I don't know if you're familiar. At almost 6'4", he's over 6'3".
Yeah, he
gets down
tall
on the mat, and he likes to mix it up. My brother said it properly. He goes, there's football fans and there's football players.
Yeah. Right.
Matthew's a football player.
Right.
He wants to mix it up.
And, he's only going to get bigger and fill out and stronger. And then who knows where that will lead. And again, congrats to you because it's always nice to, not have to worry about the tuition and all that stuff. And speaking of running the table, we ran the table on the lunch specials here at Shenanigans, and let me tell you, I will let you do the full intro, but this is like available, pretty much everything on this table, except I got the kind of dieter is the light, but all these other items that you see here are available every weekday for $9.99.
Monday through Friday, 11:30 to
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock in the afternoon. You can come in and get everything you see featured here, with the exception of the cheese. That's a little extra on there, but it's a burger with fries, and then you get your rib basket, which are baby back ribs, pulled pork and fries, and then you have your chicken wings with your with your French fries. So it's a great value in a time when things. I see the stock markets have 49,000 points, and I see, I see a little diversity between the have and have-nots, to be candid with you.
Well, and this is one of the topics that we were going to address today, which is, there are some people who are struggling, and especially the middle class, which is shrinking, and restaurants and food service for the middle class. We're going to be talking, a little bit more in depth about that later, the challenges for the operators, for the customers, and me and you, we actually were kicking around. I think we can solve some of these problems with some policy fixes, but I don't know if we can trust anybody in any level of state or local or national government to address some of these things. But you are doing what we say, think global, act local. You are acting locally, Pat, with these great lunch deals, because this is a full-size burger, and look at you, you're already demolishing it. You must have hit the gym. I hit the gym this morning. I'm going to be
I'm starving.
I'm going to be starving. I'm going to be but let's go through the lineup again. Nice burger. It comes a regular plain, but you could do a little supplement with a cheeseburger. The ribs look spectacular. You got that smoker on the other side. It
Lubie
used to be
judge that.
Yeah, and we've got the pulled pork sandwich, which I have never had here. I usually get your brisket sandwich. And then we've got Lubie demolishing the wings, getting ready for the Canes game, because there's going to be a lot of wings being put out tomorrow night. How are you today, Lubie, as your mouth is full?
I'm doing well, but it's, again, $9.99 for a full lunch in 2026 now is utterly insane. So,
hey, another thing, we don't make you
buy a
$5.99 drink.
I was going to ask. Okay,
I don't want to
drink.
For I think your Let's Eat South Florida
rhymes with shenanigans.
Yeah,
it does.
You're very educated consumers here, and I see people, more importantly, that realize that you're getting a lunch special in certain places, but then you got to buy a beverage at $5.99. So you're right back where you want to be.
Yep.
So that's up to you.
When it's a full lunch, it's you didn't skimp on portions. The wings are a nice size. It's a full sandwich. It's a full burger.
Look, it's almost
half a rack of ribs. It's a great special.
It's a great value, especially considering the quality of the food and the service here at Shenanigan Sports Pub. So we've got a full agenda. What I wanted to, and we talked a little bit on the phone yesterday, and we were talking about how, it's a new year. Everybody thinks about turning over a new leaf, and in terms of just having a good attitude. I don't even want to use the word hate,
that's
but
the wrong way
I
to start.
dislike on the Facebook group, which is now almost 230,000 people in there. I've been training them to accentuate the positive.
Yep.
I want to hear about great places,
what you
new
enjoyed
places,
about a place.
what you like. I don't want to hear about your gripes about, I wanted to sit inside. It was a cold night and it was full because it was New Year's Eve. And
exactly.
I don't want to hear the
or is it the week
fetching.
of New Year's Eve?
Well, you know what's funny about that?
Yeah.
Is, and you mentioned New Year's Eve. So we had a gentleman in here on New Year's Eve that I guess he wanted to start the new year off wrong for the restaurant. And if we serve 600 to 700 pounds of Black Angus ground beef weekly.
Yes.
Okay.
You crank out those burgers. They're good.
From $9.99 to $13.99 at night.
Pork too looks nice.
But so anyway, this one person was hell-bent on disturbing the restaurant, and we'll just leave it at this. He threatened with a bad review, and we were working toward our fourth burger with him when we packed it up and picked up his check. Yeah, there's people out there that just
4 times.
But here's what happens: the whole kitchen gets upset, the managers get upset. But here, after me 34 years in ownership, I just said, "Sir, I don't know what's going on with you, but I appreciate you coming in, but just don't come back."
Yeah.
That's all. So the Let's Eat South Florida, if you want an open forum to expound on a good experience, is nice.
Right.
I'd say 99% of your people do that.
I've actually done audits, because people say, why
Yeah.
is your group so negative? And I say, no,
It's not really negative.
it's not negative. It's just that Facebook and these social media, they pump out negativity. The algorithms pump it out and distribute it more widely because it gets more engagement. People are more prone to react and respond to negative things than positive things. So every time I've done one of these audits where over a course of a weekend, if we get like 100 posts, and I tally up, are they positive Are they neutral, like just queries? Where can I go for a nice brunch on the beach or whatever?
Yep.
So 90% of them are either positive or neutral,
Nice.
and only 10% are negative. But the negativity somehow
up,
gets pushed out. But when you talk about somebody who's, let's say, we call them a problem child. The worst thing you could do, and it really
frustrated, restless, irritable, and discontented.
Yeah, but and some people just are not happy unless they're miserable, and they're not really happy unless they spread the misery everywhere.
Bring
and
everyone
what
down to
really
their level.
frosts my ass is when people come in, they'll say, "Oh, this isn't good," whatever, and then they threaten, "Oh, I'm going to give you a bad review," and like you're trying to make things right, and then. It's like go ahead, make my day. And if you're Reno Sorbonne, who has a Michelin bib restaurant that only has 40 seats and he has a packed house every night, Reno doesn't pull punches, and he goes, "Go F yourself, go out the door, do me a favor. I look forward to never serving you again." And I kind of respect that. But
I like that name too. It's synonymous with go on.
Reno
Sorbonne.
Reno Sorbonne.
Reno is
Heritage, right?
Heritage. We're going to be there tomorrow to kind of promote and get a preview of the upcoming Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival. We're going to be with Stacy Ritter from Visit Lauderdale. That's going to be a lot of fun. But Reno doesn't take any slack or flack because his place is small enough and he's packed every night. Now, for bigger operators, it's a tough balancing act because you want to tell somebody to go, shove it where the sun don't shine, right? But when they start threatening a negative review, is like, go ahead, make my day, go. But then they actually go do it. And then the nice thing about the Let's Eat group is, unlike Yelp, which you have to pay him in order to bury the bad reviews, like we have members who will counterbalance and counteract if somebody is being unfair and it's obvious they're just angling for a comp and they didn't get it and blah, blah, blah. We'll go on there and call them out on it. And, it's, just say, it seems like you're being a little unreasonable. And
in fairness to the people, maybe they had a bad experience or, what we run into a lot is like the front page expounded on is how noisy restaurants got, right?
Yeah.
So we intentionally 34 years ago put in the name Shenanigan Sports Pub.
Right. So people know.
So I don't know what constitutes thinking you're getting a quiet, intimate, fine dining meal, but that's a typical thing that's come to the forefront now. It's a little noisy. Yeah, the TV's blasting. Come here Thursday night and see. There's going to be screaming.
The volume
yelling.
Will be up. People will be cheering.
It should be.
Hooting and hollering. Because everybody's got to realize, what everything has context. What's the context of a sports bar? It's a lively place where the games are going to be on.
Energy,
you don't come here for a quiet, romantic French dinner on Valentine's Day. And then, like last night, I was at Runway 84. My daughter was the last night in town. Took her to Runway, and even at 5, had a 5:15 reservation. The room filled in by 6 o'clock, completely packed. This is a Tuesday after the holiday weekend, and man, they're just killing it there, murdering it every night. A lot of tourists were in there, a lot of big groups too. But there was this one couple. I don't know if they were on a date or if they were a longtime married couple. This woman looked so miserable.
Oh boy,
because you could tell it was too loud. They brought the lasagna. She took one bite of lasagna. She didn't send it back, but you could tell she just like. And I was just watching her, and I was like,
I think in his case though, he's so successful and doing so fantastic that if you're just a hater, you're gonna.
Well,
you
again,
can't even get a reservation.
There'll be somebody else to replace you. But I don't understand people like that. What did she think she was going to get? Like, I don't know if it was her first time or if she's just it's just
Runway
or just miserable. It was so odd to me.
Fantastic.
And the food, I had a great meal. I mean, they had a sirloin steak special slice.
He has that wet steak program that Mark Tossaletto put it in there.
Yeah, no.
I always thought everything had to be dry aged from my background. And he proved to me with this, this is prior to dry aging.
Right.
He does a wet aged steak.
Right.
And it's very flavorful.
And he's getting the meat from the same purveyor in Chicago that provides meats to Peter Luger's in Brooklyn. But last night, the chef, it was, a lot of times they just do a kind of, plain, broiled steak, comes out nice and crusty on the outside. But last night they had a special. They were running a special sliced 16-ounce prime sirloin with a au poivre brandy sauce.
Really?
And truffle fries.
Oh, my God.
And it was spectacular.
That sounds amazing.
And again, even me on my Ozempic.
Maybe gearing up for the Las Olas.
Yeah.
Steak au poivre.
That's another source of. But yeah, the steaks. Yeah, but But yeah, no, Falsetto and of course Anthony Bruno. They just knock it out every night.
Yeah,
Good, great
Yeah, they do a
stuff.
great job.
Meanwhile, speaking of great stuff, this pulled pork.
Well, look,
For
and what I was
$9.99?
gonna say is I could see why people would get confused here because the quality of the food has a fine dining flair to it. We talk about that with Pat all the time with his background in fine dining, but the vibe is intentionally not that. Like, so that for people to come here, which I know they don't get that a lot, but once in a while, people, I guess in the past, had
Well,
talked
the
about
accountability,
noise,
I
but
think
like,
as more expensive the item goes up, the more accountability that a person has. So if you have let's just say an inexpensive meal by, normal
today's
standards.
standards.
Yeah, by normal standards, you kind of say, well, I was in a loud room and they did have sports blasting, but I had a dolphin franchise of all things in a sports bar.
Yeah.
And it was delicious and it was,
I've had
Well
that.
priced.
inexpensive.
That's a great piece. That's a great dish.
so-
All your fish is
yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
The fish tacos
We do
are
the best
great.
we can. How's that say?
You do
just
pretty
the best
good.
You do
we
a
can. That's
fantastic
all we
job.
can
You do
say.
fantastic, and I love you. Not only do I love you and your wife,
Yeah.
but I love the food here. I love the
Thank you.
vibe here. I love your
Thank you.
staff. A lot of long timers.
Yep.
It's a
Lot of
neighborhood
regulars.
sports bar where you're not getting fleeced, and that brings us to a discussion that we want to have about the future of places like yours, independent operators that can cater to the middle class.
Mhm.
And we were talking about how it's getting harder and harder because of food costs, labor costs, all these things. Landlords who are, maybe I don't want to say unreasonable, but are unreasonable. And let me cut the ribs for you there.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, there we go.
I don't think I'm indicative of answering that because I've been in the business so long, 34 years as an owner.
You've been around the block, and
yeah,
you've
but-
had your fair share of dealing with different people, and now you're own your own land, which I think is essential to, being able to do what you do.
But
Right.
it makes it less complicated.
Right. How is it going to work for people who are at the mercy of landlords and rent hikes when leases expire?
I think that you being probably one of the not only the best writers but critics and everything, I think that's a subject for a
Magazine piece?
investigative
Mhm.
reporter because I'm not buying what they're selling in the city of Hollywood or city of Dania of a part of occupancy of retail. I can't name you any new restaurant that's coming out of the ground. Matter of fact, I stumbled on one yesterday. I went on 56th Avenue and I went to GNC to get next to America's Best. My son needed his glasses. And anyway, make a long story short, I saw an opening of a place, cool name, Kiki's Breakfast Place, going where Lucky
but that's
Star
a chain.
was. Right, exactly.
It's
So
a chain.
I stumbled on the guy and I said, hey, you've had that sign up in the window that coming soon, Kiki's Breakfast. I see you're just finally doing the demo. He said it took him 2 years to get the
Oh my
permit.
God.
The permits, really?
He said he had 6 months free rent, but he's been paying rent for 18 months to get this place open. And I said I wished him nothing but the best of luck and everything.
So
But-
it's a franchise chain thing?
Yeah.
No, I've heard horror stories like that where people have to, wait for permits and they're paying rent for
Yes.
2 years. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're already
Yeah.
2 years in the hole, I don't know how you make it. I mean,
No.
you got to be so well capitalized that you're willing to, take 3 or 4 years to break even. And how many people can do that these days?
I don't know.
But I did want to talk about, well, you know what? Before we get into that kind of policy, granular restaurant stuff, because I have 2 concrete proposals that I think could really help the small independent
Go
operators.
ahead.
But we're gonna let's you know what? I'll do it now, and then we'll get to UM later. We'll talk
Go ahead.
sports later. I think there's 2 things really hitting the smaller operators hard. I mean, one of them is rents and landlords.
Yep.
Okay.
Obviously,
Yep.
there's insurance, but there's nothing, like if you, and a lot of times, maybe the operators don't pay their own insurance. They have to pay it as part of the rent. It's called CAMs, things that get included. But the rents, you see, what happened in your case.
No,
After
I was not unique.
Yeah.
They're
after,
falling like.
yeah. No,
I
same thing.
started 3 years ago. I started a trend of this.
Well, it's not a happy trend, but it's
No.
where
Yeah.
a lease is coming due,
Right.
and a long-time established business is there for a while,
Mhm.
and a landlord all of
Doing
a sudden,
very well.
not just giving like a 10% increase
No,
with some annual bumps, but like trying to double the rent or triple the rent in some cases.
Well, in my case, it went up tenfold.
Yeah.
Tenfold.
From when you started.
From when I started.
But still.
Yeah, over 30
we
years.
started at 2,400.
Right. And they wanted to get to 30,000.
Yeah, but if you figured in the garbage, in the water,
the cams,
and where I was close, just over 20,000, almost to 24. And it just doesn't make sense because goods and services hasn't gone up. But that doesn't make a difference because the way we look at it is the landlord owns the property. He's willing, he can do whatever he wants. It's a capitalist society.
Yeah.
So we have a passion for the little guy. But from what I'm seeing, there is no little guy anymore.
But here's the thing.
It's all going to be changed.
So you got priced out. It just didn't make any sense for anybody.
Not in like you said, not in my price.
Not what you want to do, and for the crowd that you wanted to cater to.
Local neighborhood.
But here's the thing. I don't know what he was thinking, but you're gone 3 years and nothing is replaced.
That's
well, how about
sitting empty.
How about the quarter deck? You're familiar with the one on Navy Road and University?
Oh, okay. I was thinking of the one on the beach because that one
went out. Yeah, but so they moved their operation over to Davy Road where they had a fire.
Okay.
And right now, if someone was interested, you could pay $600,000 and go in there and buy all the lease improvements. The rent is $18,000. But here's something that people don't realize:
this is the middle of the county. It's not even on the beach. Las Olas. It's
$18,000 a month, and you can have the privilege to do something called a non-assignable lease.
Right. So you can't sell it
in a personal guarantee.
Oh, you can't even sell it.
And you can't, like, if something goes wrong, you can't just declare bankruptcy. They're going to take your house.
20 comes, and you can't make a living. Guess what?
You're stuck.
You're paying.
Right.
You're still paying.
So with all these unreasonable terms, now you're seeing why there's so few independent operators that either survive or can do a lease renewal or will start up a new business. It's more and more chains.
Yep.
My number one, I guess, policy prescription would be right now, a lot of these strip malls and places that have restaurants that have the little neighborhood spots.
Right.
They're not owned by like a landlord that's in town or a local.
No, it's a private equity or
private equity firms
real
that
estate
have
consortium.
Hundreds of these.
In my case, the guy
malls.
has 3 million square feet
of
commercial
so
real
they don't
estate.
even. The funny is they don't care about not having money because a lot of times taking a loss is just as good for them as making
brings
profit.
Me to my policy prescription is that because they have so many other places that they can afford to have a place sit empty for even 3 years because they use it as a write-off against the other places that are profitable.
In that particular situation, it gets passed on to the other tenants that are there too on the camp.
Probably.
So, but if you can use the empty spaces and as a taking it as a loss and offsetting it as a tax isn't it time that instead of incentivizing people to have empty places, which are an eyesore and doesn't enhance the quality of life, it's no benefit to the community, instead of incentivizing empty places and greediness on landlords, shouldn't we be incentivizing having things going in there and giving them tax credits for having more affordable spots? And I don't know the ins and outs of how we get there.
I don't either.
But on as a broader goal, do you think that makes sense to do something so that landlords are incentivized to fill things, even if they're not getting $30,000 a month, if they only get $18,000 a month, and have a space filled, give somebody a tax?
But I mean, isn't that why places gentrify, right? Because when a shopping center or a complex falls unto disrepair, it is, like you're saying, an eyesore, brings down property value. It takes down the whole area, right? So you look for new people to bring in new money, to bring in a new look, and then suddenly more people are there, which is good for the economy. Like, it's never good to have an area be run down. So that's what I don't get with these things is whatever side of any aisle you're on, it just doesn't make sense to have places be empty and have people not be able to, whether it's the consumer or the restaurateur, be with their hands tied behind their back. It doesn't make sense for any side.
But the other thing that happens, especially down here in development happy South Florida, is you've got landlords that want to squeeze out longtime tenants and then eventually have an empty thing and then say, oh, we're empty. Let's get a zoning variance. Let's knock it down and build a high rise.
It's a thing called live local.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get affordable housing or workforce housing, you can get huge dividends from the country. I mean, from the government, from the state
government,
and then you can knock down all this little crappy retail and put that on the bottom and go up 18 stores.
You can build these new high rises, and then at the bottom, they're supposedly going to have
Like
retail
3 or
and
4.
restaurants, except that they're also charging too much, and you don't see anybody going in and being able to really have a
why are we empty?
successful.
Why are we empty? They can lie and say what they want, but you can drive around Hollywood and see nothing's saying coming soon.
On these floors, the ground floors of these brand new high rises.
They do that move, but that does. How often does it work? Like it's rare to see these places that
it doesn't work because they're pricing it too high.
Yeah. Because again, if the building's half empty, the idea is that the building will be full with people, so it'll just be easy for them to go down there and they'll eat at these restaurants and they'll shop at these stores. But if the building's half empty, then
and it's the same principle.
The purpose.
To me, it's the same principle of like, wouldn't you rather have every space occupied by even people are paying like 18 or 15,000 instead of 25, 30,000, instead of having a whole bunch of empty spots that produce zero, because it's like what used to also frost my ass when I go, like the people that used to run Dana Highlight was a nice, small family, local. When you would go in there and play poker, they would have a happy hour where you would get a $2 beer.
Right.
And I would drink the $2 beers all night. I would drink 5 of them, and then another $10 in tip. I'd spend my $20.
Yeah, nice.
And over a course of playing poker over 6 hours, I'd have my beers. Then the new people came in, and there was like no more happy hour, and all the beers end up going to $8 or $10 for a beer, for like a regular beer. And I said, you know what? Instead of buying 5 beers at $2, I'm buying $0 beers.
Yeah, that's what happens. Yeah,
you're not
and I'm drinking water all night.
Well, I mean, and that's what you would think is behind like a lunch special, right? Like I made fun of Pat in the sense that how do you stay in business with specials like that? The idea is more people coming in, eating more is always a good thing for a business, even if you quote unquote have to bring prices down a little bit. That's what, at least that's what it used to be. That's why you have happy hours. That's why you
only make $2 on a product as opposed to $10, but you sell 200 of them, make the $2.
People like to go where other people are.
Yes.
You mentioned Heritage, which is really successful.
Yep.
You mentioned Runway, packed at 5:15. People want to be seen. They want to put on their nice clothing. They want to get out and about. And also, we kind of have the same thing, like it's got to be good. The place is packed. It's doing well.
Exactly.
So the loss leaders have always been in place at different places.
Right.
But I don't have the answer to this. This is a perplexing.
Well, we got to find a way to disincentivize, to penalize empty spaces if landlords are using them to their tax advantages or something.
What you would think?
I don't know. But in capitalism, you know what? We were talking yesterday about, like, if the regular places that cater to the middle class, independents, not these big chains, get priced out of the whole market. But there's always,
everyone.
but eventually there's a way. Capitalism finds a way.
Yeah, it's usually
either food trucks. This is how food trucks.
That's where that. I didn't want to bring that subject up, but if you are a entrepreneur,
right? Yeah, you find a way.
I gotta be candid with you. It's kind of a cool proponent.
That's the starting point.
This is the starting point, and it might be the end all. I don't want to say anything negative.
The other thing you mentioned is that there are always ways where people will go into neighborhoods that aren't the best, that are lower rent, that will start.
And you turn them around.
This is the whole story of Wynwood.
Wynwood
started as a
God, it wasn't it? Is it
a hellhole? It was
an
Overtown.
A huge fan of Michelle Bernstein, right? I think I admire her so much. I think not only her graciousness and the way, such a talent, and her husband, they're incredible. What incredible dynamic people, right? She was the forefront of Wynwood, and she got rewarded.
She was in Wynwood. She was in the Miami modern neighborhood when she started with Nishi's down there, and she got in for a song, and then also same old story.
Got pushed
After
out.
being there 10 years, they wanted her to redo her lease, and she said
Wynwood,
no.
she mentioned to me, went to 50,000.
Yeah, Wynwood has gone through the roof, but there will always be these little pockets where people will go and find and get there. And the other place, something you were telling me about back in the day, that little operators could get into, like sometimes little hotels or bars.
That was my day. Yeah.
So
when you were a recent graduate of culinary school, in my case, or you had some sort of chops that the people liked, they used it like you're familiar with Porta Vita or First Watch or all these places.
Well, those are all.
So those
now.
they've been around, but just independently owned for a long time. There's another one up north, Peach Valley Cafe. So what they do is they would say, "Hey, listen, we have 100 rooms here, and we want to make sure that our guests can have breakfast and this, and that." And they would lure operators in and actually give them electricity and gas.
Oh, that's amazing.
And sometimes it'd have a liquor license or a pool bar associated with it, and you'd staff it and this and that. Did you get rich? No. You made a living. That's basically what it came down to. You made a living, but you provided a good service and fun time. People would congregate. I mean, we're all basically moving in a direction of two separate parts of society.
Well, it's becoming more stratified, yes, and that's a disturbing thing. Guys like me and you, I grew up, and I'm not going to say privileged, but I grew up in a nice neighborhood in Brooklyn. Right. My dad was a dentist,
right?
But our neighborhood was also filled with all different types of people, working class teachers, and it was a mix. And the neighborhoods you go around, I take a bus ride to go to my to the train to go to high school, and you'd go through all different neighborhoods. Right. Now it's becoming things are walled off. I mean, this is a much bigger problem than just food and restaurants. But I think, like you said, hopefully people will give the up and comers and young entrepreneurs and the young talent a break and find a place to get them on their feet. And I'm seeing it now, a place that we did a show a couple of months ago, Bob Roth's New River Groves. And you said you were just there. They sell fruit. They do their pies.
I love that. What an eclectic,
that
fun
place is interesting.
It's old Florida.
Excellent.
It's totally old Florida. But what I love is that they have this little luncheonette counter where they do sandwiches and pastries, but it's not run by Bob Roth or his family. They sublet out that little area to this family from Colombia.
It's delicious.
And that's good.
My wife stops there and gets the half gallon, the $18 coconut water.
Oh,
and I get a Cuban sandwich.
I was going to say the sandwiches,
the Cuban
sandwich. It's delicious.
And that's a separate thing.
Good baked goods.
Bob Roth explained these people, they were new to the country. They wanted to start making money. And he's not squeezing them. He's not charging them. I don't know what he charges them. Probably very nominal because he wants them to succeed.
Yes.
And so he gives them a little spot in his place, and it augments the whole experience there. And I hope more and more people can, do that in bigger places. Well, and that's it. In capitalism, people find a way, right?
In capitalism, people find a way. And also, to me, it's okay to understand that you're not alone in a society works together, right? Like a society, you talk about it with different restaurants in an area when back in the day it was competition and you were scared when new places come in, but most businesses realize you don't want to just be the only place on a block. You want other places around you to bring in other people, and then people will try the different restaurants, different experiences. You succeeding, if everyone else is failing, eventually it may lead to you failing. To me, a lot of the time, it's not your job to worry about everyone all the time, but society as a whole succeeds when more people succeed, at least to me. And especially in the restaurant business, these real estate firms coming in and buying out places and not caring about the quality and not caring about service because they just are trying to make a buck. If it hurts the whole industry, then you didn't serve anyone. There's no service to it. So I'm just confused by all of it, and what the end is.
And the margins are shrinking even more. I think. Did you send me a piece, or somebody sent me a piece that I think I sent it to you? But Wall Street Journal did a piece about how even a $500 steak dinner only yields $25 in profit, which is
crazy.
It's crazy. Now
I don't know if I'd go that dramatic, to be honest with you. I think the Wall Street Journal did an analysis of a really, really high-end place, and there was a rule, if you want to bore your listeners a little bit more, but basically every operation had a 30-30-10, right? Well, that doesn't exist anymore.
Right. Okay. 30 on rent, 30 on food. Wait, 30 on labor.
Yeah, labor, operating expenses, and 30 on everything else. It left you a 10% net. So if you did $3 million gross, you could always guarantee even a $300,000 profit.
which is fair.
So now
good, yeah.
it's kind of funny because the insurance companies now base your insurance on your gross. Even though your margin's smaller, they raise that. Your taxes on your property. Anyway, to make a long story short, I can't tell you what the answer is other than we might be heading into a little bit more of a revolt where it's ghost kitchens, delivery apps,
food trucks,
right? Simplified, and that's not necessarily bad.
Right.
I mean,
well, there'll be a correction, and at some point,
yeah.
even the big private equity firms will have to lower their rates if every place is empty, and eventually,
that's what you would think.
The second part of the equation. Well, let's take our first break, and the second part of the equation is labor and the unintended consequences of the minimum wage hike for tipped employees. For non-tipped employees, by all means, they should be able to make a living wage. It's going to be going up to $16 a year. But for the tipped employees, there's a little thing that happened that's really killing the small-time operators in that high-end places where waiters and the service staff might be pulling in $200, $300 a night. I mean, we're talking about people pulling in, 60, 70 to even 120,000 a year,
right?
Still get the new minimum wage for tipped employees,
11,
which is up to $11.
Yeah, $11.
And you tell me
that's a nice money.
Look, by all means, the little, the breakfast cafe waitress who is still pulling in only $20 an hour, that's fine. But if you're pulling in $2,000 a week, you don't need the $11 an hour. On top of that, there should be some sort of exemptions, because that really is also squeezing the margins of the smaller independent operators. And I've heard this story. And look, I'm a bleeding heart. I want there to be livable, wages.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But most restaurateurs do as well. But you don't want to hire homeless people. But you want people to have a home and have a life.
But it opened my eyes this summer when my daughter was working, and was bringing home $300 a night. But then on top of that, she was getting a check for, another $400.
Oh, Jesus.
Because of the minimum wage.
New York was revolting with that. The guy who's out there with the Shake Shack and everything, they tried to pool all the tips.
Right.
Remember, they
tried to do build it into the menu price.
Yes.
No service charge, no tipping,
and
there was a revolt.
There was a revolt.
Yeah.
So
because customers still want to.
You have $100 check. You're typically going to give $18 to $20 more.
Yep.
Correct. So
you give 30, and I give 25.
I give 25 to 30.
Yeah. But the point is, that's complicated. So actually, everything we've hashed over here right now, I'm going to go home and take a nap, guys.
I hope we didn't bore anybody.
No,
this is the kind of stuff.
Highly engaged.
This is what I talk about with restaurateurs all the time, and I really feel your pain, especially when it comes to the shrinking margins. And I wish that we could still give a bigger tipped minimum, but for people who are already bringing home $2,000 a week, I don't know if we need to give them any kind of wage on top of that. There should be a carve-out exemption.
Yep.
But maybe and then I get accused of being a socialist. But do insurance companies really need to gouge the people the way they are and bring home billions and billions in profits every year, and then they reinvest that?
I don't talk about caps because, again, I agree. Like, you should be able to make as much as you can make. Like, I'm all for that, and we've seen when you put caps on things in societies, it just takes away from motivation for people. It doesn't. It doesn't level the playing field. It just makes everyone poor and only 8 people rich. So you need to have motivation. Money is a motivator, as much as plenty of research has shown you money's not a motivator. That's a lie, because I work my hardest a lot of the time when they're paying me the best. So money's 100% a motivator. You should be able to make as much as you can make. I have nothing against that. However, it is okay. There's a reason we have government. Like, it's not like we're just living free in anarchy. There are rules and stuff that do get put in place by government to make sure society is facilitated in a better, more efficient way for more people.
Everybody should be able to eat.
Like, you don't have to be an insurance company and gouge everyone. Like, that's random. Like,
and have some health care. Well, health care.
I'm not telling about all that. I'm just saying, like, the insurance
I
stuff
can't
is
cure
crazy.
all the world's ills. All I can do is tell you, if you're, like everybody else.
Buy dirt.
Buy dirt. Yes.
Honestly,
that never goes away.
Buy dirt.
And hopefully not too close to the shore. That won't be underwater, literally, in a couple of decades. But the other thing you could do is, if you are on a tight budget, come on out here for lunch or even dinner, because you're not going to spend an arm and a leg. Yeah.
We're still a place where locals go.
Yes.
I appreciate all the tout and all the negative. But the thing is that you have to kind of be impervious. You have to just keep, putting one foot in front of the other and make your guests as happy as you can and feed them well and enjoy, have a nice atmosphere.
And again, people just try to look at the bright side of things. We are living in great times. It's a beautiful, beautiful area, beautiful time of year, and we are really, just everything that's gone on in technology, and we have such ease of getting around. You could call an Uber, you can order food, and you pull up to the drive-through window
you
here.
Go to a Seminole sovereign nation
and win at poker.
Or win at poker.
Yes, we could do that too.
Yeah.
All right.
How about the horse track? Are we going to be able to do that anymore?
Yes, I'm there every Friday.
I know.
You're welcome.
How
every
much
week.
longer do we have?
So they have a new agreement.
Right.
They will be going and running year-round this year in 26.
Yes.
They've guaranteed next year it's going down from 180 dates of racing to 140. So I think in 2027 you will see no more summer racing at Gulfstream.
Makes sense.
But they've guaranteed this new deal they did with the Horsemen. There will be live racing at Gulfstream through at least the end of 2028. What happens after that? I have no idea.
All right.
But at this point in my life, I'm going to be pushing 60. You're 70.
Yeah.
I only do it one day at a time this time. It's
the only way. I don't care what age you are.
Yeah,
That's all you
enjoy yourself every
Don't
day.
project too far.
That's it.
There you go.
All right. We got to take our first break. We did a lengthy.
Oh, yeah.
Did we solve all the world's problems?
I don't think so.
We didn't solve anything.
Another one popped up in the meantime.
Hopefully
we're taking over Greenland.
Yeah. Maybe we can open some cheap restaurants
There you
there.
go.
Yeah.
Hey, before we take the first break, I want to talk about our newest sponsor. Camille's is a great, also talking about places that are for, middle class or anybody really. If you enjoy good food, but they don't gouge you, it's a place where you could go in. And I did this with Val. We had a really nice dinner with a salad, a pizza, a main course, and a bottle of sparkling water. And it was less than $100, including the tip, which is like anytime you could get out of a restaurant for under $50 a person,
like dinner
these days, including the tax and the tip. That's what Camille's is. It's run by a husband and wife. It's a mom and pop, John and Maya. John had been around some of the finest restaurants, New York, Miami. He was at Dune, that's now shuttered down the beach in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah.
But he branched off. He is from Queens. He's of Italian heritage, and he wanted to make pizzas and pastas. So that's what he's doing. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be hosting a happy hour there, actually, in the early evening, 4:30 to 6, which is perfect because a good way to get ready for the UM game. And before you come over here to Shenanigans for 8:30 kick, 4:30 to 6 happy hour at Camille's. It's 4165 North Dixie Highway in the booming Oakland Park area. That's a whole.
Isn't that a cool area?
Yeah,
good
it's
for them.
Renaissance. I mean, it started with Funky Buddha over 15 years ago. But now there's other breweries in there. There's other small restaurants, and Camille's is one of those mom and pop restaurants that you can get a really nice chicken parmesan is their signature dish, named after John, chicken parmesan, and with a side of pasta, it's like $26, and it's like the best chicken parm I've had. And it also has great pizzas, New York style, all these things. But they're debuting a happy hour this month. It's going to be every weekday from 4 to 6, and I'm going to be there tomorrow from 4:30 to 6. And they're doing some combos besides having great drink specials and things like that. Also, you can get 3 of their happy hour dishes for $20, which is also a steal.
Come on, that's great.
Things like calamari, meatballs, all these things. Camille's tomorrow night. We're happy to have them as part of the Lunchbox.
How many square feet is it? I got to go see it.
It's a decent size. Yeah, it's not tiny.
I'm saying he's
not
probably got
huge.
about like 70 seats in there.
Okay.
70
It's
or
a nice
80
place.
seats. Yeah.
All right.
It's an interesting combination of like red sauce, Italian, but also elevated
Spinning some
Italian.
things forward.
But the prices are really, really nice. It's a very interesting place. And Camille's, they do a really good
I
job.
got to check that out.
You could check it out.
Thank
I
you.
think it's Camille's.com. I got to
I
double
don't know.
check the
I'm
website. But again, come on out tomorrow, 4165 North Dixie in Oakland Park, and I'll be there. Or go out any night and check it out, whether for happy hour or the main dinner. They're open every day, but Tuesday. They're one of the rare Italian restaurants open on a Monday because so many other Italian places are closed on Monday. So that's good.
Yep.
All right, let us take our first break, and we'll come back. We'll try to solve maybe all the other
some
things.
sports and talk some other food.
Oh yeah, we'll talk
sports,
UM.
a little
Let's
sports.
talk UM.
There we go.
All right, after these words. A tradition for South Florida sports fans for more than 30 years, Shenanigans It's at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach, the place to go for all your favorite teams and events and food that's not your ordinary sports bar fare. Award-winning wings, burgers, fresh fish, and more, TV screens galore, and all-day happy hour specials. The kitchen and bar are open into the wee hours, perfect for late-night bites and very close to the airport. For playoff action, football season, and a good time anytime, Shenanigans. Great seafood and more at Mignonette, Miami. It's in the Edgewater neighborhood at 210 Northeast 18th Street, close to the Arch Center and Heat Arena. Mignonette is open every day for dinner, and it serves the freshest fish and raw bar items with a daily selection of the finest oysters around. Chef owner Danny Surfer and his team are eager to please. Mignonette is Michelin Guide recommended and Lunchbox approved. For reservations and information, go to mignonnettemiami.com.
Hey Lunchbox fans, is it time to sell your business? You've poured your heart and soul into your restaurant or business, and you want to see continue the legacy you have built. Transworld can help. Call me, Andy Cagnetta, at Transworld Business Advisors right now and see if it's time for you to retire and relax. Iconic brands like the Mai Kai, Mulligans, Carlos and Pepe's, Mangoes, and many more turn to Transworld to help sell. Contact Transworld on Facebook or call 954-772-1122 or visit tworld.com. Again, that's 954-772-1122 or tworld.com.
When I'm looking for some wicked good food for a wicked good lunch, there's only one place to go. That's Wicked Cheesesteaks in Fort Lauderdale. It's at 4824 North Federal Highway, just south of Commercial Boulevard and across from Holy Cross Hospital. My friend Brian there, he will hook you up with some really tasty treats. They've got cheesesteaks just like the best you can find in Philly, along with lobster rolls, because that's where he's from, Maine originally. And they have wings and pizza and everything you want to have a really good time. Wicked Cheesesteaks. They're open every day but Tuesday. Check them out online, wickedcheesesteaks.com. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Guess who's back and better than ever? Juan's. For the best in classic old-school Chinese cuisine, a family-run South Florida favorite since 1966. It's at 664 North Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Chef Alex is carrying on the family tradition that started 4 generations ago. It used to be known as Christina Juan's Mandarin House, and you're going to love it as Juan's. They've got all your favorites: wonton soup, spare ribs, egg rolls, dumplings, Peking duck, and more. Combo lunch specials daily and takeout and delivery. For more information, go to their Instagram page at juans.fl. If you're looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more, go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. All right, good news. My daughter has arrived back in Tallahassee, ready for the second semester of her sophomore year. Natalia, thank you. Always gives me a thrill, though, because, you know, now they have all these, like, location tracking apps, so I can see where my daughter is going. She topped out at 89 miles per hour, and the little iPad, when you see how she's driving, like it turns from a regular it turns when you go above 75 miles an hour, it turns from a regular car into a dragster. So she was dragstering all the way up 75.
In the middle of the day.
No, that's fine. But she did make good time. She left her mom's out, I think like about 7:30. So
good for her.
Gets back before 2.
How many hours?
Classes
it's like 6 hours. That's what I told you. It's a 6-hour drive.
She stopped for Starbucks. She stopped for gas.
That's
and Lubie, a veteran of that drive.
That's it. You get off, you get gas, you get food, go back.
It's a long drive.
It's a long drive.
The more you do it, it's not the worst, but yes, it's not
if there's a football game at the end of the thing,
that helps.
Then it helps. That always motivated me. My daughter right there.
Speaking of football.
Okay, let's go.
Tomorrow night,
yes,
the U is back.
Wow.
In championship contention.
How long has it been since we've had this?
I think I witnessed their last championship. Did they? Was the last one where they won in the Rose Bowl against Nebraska?
Yes. Yeah. And then they went the next year, 2002.
Larry Coker was the coach.
Yes.
not only witnessed that game, I wrote a column about it for the Sun Sentinel back when I was a
Damn
sports
good
writer.
column. I remember it. I
So,
remember you.
How long ago is that? If I was still a sports writer,
2002.
I left sports and jumped to news in 2002. So
I think it was around then.
I think it was the 2001
season.
I think.
There you go.
So it was
2002, 2003. They played and got the whole call.
Oh, then was the Ohio State Fiesta Bowl. So now they're trying to slay the demons of the past. They already slayed Ohio State. The shocking upset.
I think they have a good shot with Ole Miss.
Well, yeah,
they have a great shot. It's a weird Ole Miss team because they've gone through the whole Lane Kiffin drama. They lose the head coach. Now they lose the rest of the coaches.
Lane Kiffin got a $500,000 bonus if Ole Miss won. It was in his LSU had to pay him. So now all the people that he stole from Ole Miss are gone. So
this is a great country.
There's no coaches.
But the thing is, you would think with all these distractions and actually losing coaches who are helping you to victories,
goes to show how important your coach is.
But do you rally around? Like now, the players are like,
I never liked that guy.
Right, it's all on them, and they're saying, "Hey, we're the real talent." No wonder why we're getting paid.
What I found interesting with the 27-point comeback, that quarterback is exciting.
What a great game that Georgia game was.
He won 2 Division II championships. They brought him there, and the guy who's the head coach now said, "I didn't realize that my guys were fatigued, so I put in different players, showing clearly that he wasn't."
Well versed
as he goes, and they stepped up and we erased the 20.
Don't you like that?
A guy's honest.
That has childlike wonder. That's something he did actually work.
I didn't quite realize my guys were getting killed in there, and we came back with a 27-point.
It's going to be exciting. Semifinal tomorrow night, 8:30, right here at Shenanigans. It's going to be the place to be. I will come from Camille's right down here, and my friend Scott will have a couple of beers. We'll watch the game. It's going to be packed. It's going to be fun. And the payoff is if they beat Ole Miss, they get to play in the championship game right at home. That's at Hard Rock Stadium.
We have to always feature guys like Michael Irvin and
Irvin.
The Irvin stuff's crazy.
And do we have to be associated with Luther Campbell?
That's part of the whole you. That's
Listen. That organization there now has to distance itself from the ghost of the
you gotta embrace your past.
Irvin literally is on the sideline like he's a coach.
You have to look. You might not like it.
I find him as one of the most obnoxious human beings I've ever seen.
Michael Irvin?
We've done stuff with him in person. He's a lot.
Yeah. He's a lot. But he was a tremendous talent, both in high school, college, and the pros. I mean, and when I look at Jeremiah Smith now, Chaminade, Ohio State got bounced because they, for some reason, forgot he was on the team and didn't want to throw to him.
No, they threw to him, and he had a freshman threw to him, and that kid pulled that perfect pick.
Yeah,
and then the kid was gun shy. He still had 157 yards.
But the one catch was like 70 yards.
You got to remember something when you're talking about the best wide receiver in college football. You have to have a guy that can throw you the ball.
Right.
Okay. So they say
it doesn't get there on its own.
Knowing Jeremiah and seeing the frustration. There was speculation on his Chaminade teammates because UM wanted him so bad.
Do you think he's going to transfer?
No, he's already come out and said he's not.
No. Okay. He has one more year.
And he's already won a title.
They'll pay him a ton, and he won the title.
He got a high school state championship. They were the best team in the nation.
But he was a man amongst boys. I mean, back in high school. And he still seems to be.
He got
his talent, not his temperament, but his talent reminds me of Michael Irvin. Like when Irvin first came up, everybody knew he was going to be a star.
Michael was more of a blazer. This guy is just out muscles you. He's got a heads up presence.
Yep.
That's just incredible. And he finds his routes are just perfect.
He runs really good routes.
Well, Ohio State is old news. They're out. But we got UM and a couple of American Heritage guys.
Yes.
Malachi Tony and Fletcher. And I know Tony
turned 18 years old.
I know. Malachi. And, they've had their share of foibles and fumbles, but they always seem to redeem themselves. And they did so in the last game against who did they play in the last game? Ohio State, right?
Yes.
And
my son was wearing the jersey.
Yeah.
And we were in a pro Ohio State crowd, and I guess a guy that was a little intoxicated started heckling my son. And my son's like, listen to this fool over here. Can you just listen to it? I mean,
they get silly.
They get silly. He goes, listen to this fool. I said, I wore my jersey because I'm from South Florida. This guy ranted and raved so long that he got himself thrown out.
So I have two questions going into the semifinal game.
Go ahead.
Number one,
yes,
they're playing Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Is there a new Miss? Why is there an Ole Miss? Why is it? Why do they call themselves Ole Miss?
I guess because Kiffin left and said, "That's my old haunt."
Ole Miss.
LSU. I'm going to LSU.
Number two, do you think it matters the weight of the past? The fact that the Canes have a horrendous history backstory in the Fiesta Bowl. You think it does carry over?
It does.
It does. And
I'll tell you why.
Tell me why.
Because I see Cristobal on the sidelines sometimes, and I see like it's somehow in the back of his mind. I mean, you got to remember something. The Georgia transfer quarterback that came in, right? He used his legs so smart in that game. Everything fell right into place against Ohio State. So to catch that light in a bottle again, you kind of have to have this looming in the back of your mind. Like, is this going to be one of those Cinderella stories? You lost your head coach. Then your whole assistant coaching staff left.
Right.
You go there, march on despite everything into, let's face it, I'm a UM fan.
And then
I'm a UM fan.
Yeah.
But they're not liked in the rest of the country because of the sideline hijinks and Catholics versus convicts and all the rest of it. And you will see pandemonium because this proves Kiffin that he was so, without this quarterback. Now, my son, who knows more about football than he forgot more. He says that defense going to shut that kid down.
Right.
That he's not going to be able to throw.
Look, I think it's going to be a good game.
They're going to wake him up.
No matter what happens, as a sports writer, I would love this game because there are no bad outcomes. Both are great stories.
Both great stories.
Better story for locals here would be UM coming back to try to win a title at home.
Yeah.
And Indiana, though, I don't know if anybody's beating Indiana.
Okay, let's recant. We want to talk about U of M, and I can remember because I had a house full of friends.
Right.
When Jerome Brown and the Catholics, the Penn State boys came down, right? And wearing their blue blazer, and they were dressed in their fatigues. And Jerome Brown said, did the Japanese sit down and have their...
Right, they were talking smack.
52 yards of total offense. Testaverde, who was the Heisman Trophy winner, threw 5 interceptions. Ignored Alonso.
He was colorblind. He couldn't tell the difference between the white jerseys and
they keep screaming about Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson was so great. That was Jimmy Johnson coaching this team with Alonso Heisman.
Everybody has a bad day.
Worst. No, that was not a bad day. That was a defining moment. And he defined. Jimmy Johnson has lived on this thing because when he went down to Dallas. But how did he do the Dolphin organization? He came here. He got rid of Keith Meyer.
You said the D word. He said we weren't going to be talking the D word today. But all right, before we move on to the pros, and we got to do one more break.
Go ahead.
But on the positive note, they got off the plane. They were not wearing fatigues this time, right? They seem to be on their.
I think they got to tune it down. I'll be honest with you. They got to focus on the game. They got to get those reprobates off the sideline that are just like they're like old jokes to me.
It's not
old
like
men. They're old men. They're old. They're crackheads from the past.
Oh my!
Get them off the sideline.
Michael
I don't
Irvin,
want to see him. I don't want to see Michael Irwin.
He might have had some history.
What do you mean? I like some history between the prostitutes and the crack. Get them off.
You grow up in South Florida. You're gonna have some of these things.
I grew up in South Florida. I've never
no, I've been here my whole life.
All right, it's time to take the second break.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we could, I don't know. I'm surprised that
show that guy.
A guy
talk
that
about a deer in the headlight
that horrifies you. Here's your man.
That's him.
That's him.
He's boy genius. He's a genius.
You've got Super Bowl.
Whenever a guy's called a genius, this is a genius here. This is a genius.
He will be working at the Best Buy on the Geek Squad next. No,
he's a genius.
How do you explain this, Pat? Super Bowl winning coaches such as John Harbaugh, and Pete Carroll gone.
Fired.
And this guy right here who speaks in tongues.
Because our owner is 85 years old. He has dementia. He doesn't even realize what day it is.
Maybe he should run for president.
He has a great organization for his developing and his purchasing, and he's a developer.
Oh, my God.
He doesn't know he has been terrible.
All right, let's take the second break. Before we do, a real quick word about Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival.
Yes.
It's coming up right around the corner. There are still some tickets remaining for the grand tasting on Saturday the 24th, along with some of the other big events. Friday night barbecue on the beach. Thursday night Asian theme walk and roll. Pretty much all the dinners are sold out except a handful of tickets left for the Juan's Asian dinner with our friend Alex up there in Fort Lauderdale on that Wednesday the 21st.
Will it be at his store?
Yeah. And then
it's a neat plaza for people that want to go.
Yeah, they've got good food, and they're going to have a good time that night. Clarice Lamb, a very well-known cookbook author and chef, is going to be joining Alex and his former partner Diego. That's going to be on the Wednesday night. All these dinners, there's seminars. Go online to vlfoodwine.com right now. Check out what's still available. The grand tasting is going to be sold out within a matter of days. So get those tickets now. And if you use the promo code Lunchbox, you get an extra 15% off the already low ticket prices. I myself used that promo code the other day to get some tickets to the Even Keel dinner, which is going to be a lot of fun.
That's a good one, too.
That's a good one.
That's a good
That is
one.
now a sellout, Pat. But if you and Chris want to go, I know some
Make something happen.
Maybe get something happen. But again, vlfoodwine.com, Lunchbox promo code, extra 15% savings. Going to be a great time going on all week from January 19th through the 20th.
Martin Luther King Day.
Yes, Martin Luther King Day is the kickoff at Reno's at Heritage. That's a sellout. And again, portion of the proceeds go to the Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital right here in Hollywood. Great outfit.
The best.
They're so good, and I'm so glad
wonderful
the
best.
festival supports them. Hopefully the weather will be perfect, and everybody's going to have a good time. And one of the things that you don't need a ticket for, and the only event which is family-friendly, under 21 can attend, is Sunday after the brunch, or actually besides the brunch. They call it Family Day, where there's all kinds of activities, crafts, and food trucks lined up, and you pay as you go, but no tickets, and anybody can attend. They call that Family Fun Day also on that Sunday, the 25th. Going to be a great time.
I'm intrigued by food trucks.
VL
They
Food
intrigue me.
Wine.
One
Some of
guy's
them do a great job.
No, yeah, I don't know where the cleaning facilities are there, but I'm intrigued how cool they are.
They have,
I don't see anywhere where you wash your hands. I don't want to bring it up. I think they've been skirting that a little. I mean, from a brick and mortar
Believe
guy.
it or not, I know you're a brick and mortar guy, but they are subject to inspection and licensing, and they do have hand washing and running water in some of these trucks.
Outside
somehow.
No,
I don't know. I don't know.
I haven't seen that.
All right,
I'll be honest with you.
Then I will. Well, yeah,
I would want one that had it on the outside.
I've
Wash
had some
your
good food
hands.
trucks out there, so all good. All right,
Okay.
let's take the second break, and then we'll wrap up this edition after these words.
Okay.
When people come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial, serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, Even Keel Fish Shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. Hey, it's Mike Mayo. When the Brooklyn boy in me wants a good bagel with Nova or some matzo ball soup, homemade knishes, or a great deli pastrami sandwich on rye, you know where I go? Grandpa's Cafe in Dania Beach. It's been around a long time, an institution, but a little over a year ago, a pair of New Yorkers came in, bought it, and refurbished the place. It's beautiful, and they are now serving great breakfast, brunch, lunch. They've got the omelets. They've got eggs Benedict. They've got all kinds of great baked goods like rugelach. Grandpa's is just off Federal Highway on Southwest 1st Street in Dania Beach. It's open 7 days. Go in there, tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. The finest quality, warm hospitality, and world-class creativity. Those are the ingredients that make Daniel's, a Florida steakhouse, a special place. Come experience the restaurant that's Michelin Guide recommended and totally Mike Mayo's Lunchbox approved, with an impressive collection of steaks, seafood, and more, like their foie gras creme brulee. Daniel's is located at 620 South Federal Highway in Fort Lauderdale, just south of the New River Tunnel, open Tuesday through Sunday for dinner. For reservations and information, go to danielssteak.com. Fresh local fish, a sophisticated setting. I'm talking about Corvina Seafood Grill. It's at 110 Plaza Real South in Boca Raton, just south of Palmetto Park Road. It's the place to go for the freshest and local seafood and fish, some of it with a Peruvian twist like their great ceviches. It's open 7 days for dinner. They also have happy hours 7 days a week. You don't want to miss it. It's a great place. CorvinaBocaRaton.com for more information and reservations. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. Same great Thai food, beautiful new location. I'm talking about Eat Thai, now in Boca Raton at 6299 North Federal Highway. Thai cuisine is having a moment, and Chef Sopanut makes some of the best in South Florida. A hip and modern spot with authentic Thai street food and some innovative twists. The spicy oxtail soup, Thai bouillabaisse, shrimp ceviche, and classic noodle dishes will wow you. And they now offer full liquor and craft cocktails too. Open every day but Tuesday for lunch and dinner. Go to eatthaiflorida.com for more information. Do you love Italian food? I mean, who doesn't love Italian food? Well, have I got a great new place for you, Elvis Italian Grill. It's at 4261 Griffin Road in Dania Beach, right near State Road 7 and the Hard Rock Casino. It's named for its owner, Elvis. And it has all your favorites, pizzas, pastas, veal chops, fresh fish, lunch specials, happy hour, and has one of my favorite chefs, the wonderful Manuela. There's full bar, great wines, al fresco dining on the deck with a water view. Open for lunch and dinner every day but Monday. For reservations and information, go to ElvisItalianGrill.com. Delicious Mexican food with innovative twists. Margaritas with a medley of tongue-tingling flavors. I'm talking about Taco Craft, Taqueria, and Tequila Bar. The place to go on Taco Tuesday and every day. It's located at 510 North Federal and Highway in Fort Lauderdale, and also in Lauderdale by the Sea at Plantation Walk and Coral Springs. Taco Craft has specials every day, including bottomless drinks for a Sunday brunch, and Taco Tuesdays, including their new birria tacos with bone marrow broth. Oh, it's so good. They've even made a taco lover out of me, and they've got so much more, including fajitas, that open-faced smashed cheeseburger tortilla that's new, and a guacamole sampler that's an explosion of flavors. The kitchen is open late. There's delivery and takeout. For more information, go to tacocraft.com. Tell them Mike Mayo, the Lunchbox, sent you. Hey, it's Mayo for Gilbert's 17th Street Grill. You know me, I love family-run places with quality food at fair prices served with passion and pride. And that's why I love Gilbert's. For more than a decade, Lenore, Beth, and Richie Gilbert have been serving up the best burgers, wings, ribs, salads, and desserts. It's a fast casual spot. Everything prepared fresh to order from an immaculate open kitchen. They're at 1821 Cordova Road in Fort Lauderdale in the Cordova Shops just south of 17th Street. Open every day but Sunday. One of my favorite burgers in South Florida. Big, round, juicy pucks of 100% Angus beef, char grilled to perfection. And don't miss the sweet potato fries on the side. They're legendary. Go to Gilbert's, feast, and be happy. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you.
All right, we're back on the Lunchbox. We're going to wrap things up. Before we do, I have a question for you, Pat Outer, as a man who's been married for a while. And
26 years, going on 27.
Yeah, so when Valentine's Day comes around, do you get her anything?
Yes, big.
What do you get?
Huge. Whatever she wants.
Jewelry guy.
You look at her and look
flowers.
at me. Look at her and look at me. I have a pocket full of personality. I have everything from the finest chocolates, and I love that place.
Now
I went to your place.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So
this
this is incredible.
really?
It was
Oh, that's
delicious.
great.
This is we're going
I
right
love
into.
that.
We have to do a little
fire,
live spot.
fire, right?
That's
Norman
great.
Love Confections. I'm so glad.
World class. Listen. I don't know. I have an addictive.
Which one did you go
I
to?
think I have an
Boca?
addictive. Boca. I have an addictive personality.
Okay. I wouldn't know
I have
anything
an-
about
no, I
that.
have an addictive.
Says the man who's about to go play
I
poker
have
for 7
addictive
hours.
personality,
Yeah.
and my wife has endured this for 26 years, and now my new addiction is sweets. I
Well,
wish I could lie about it.
Back in the day, I would
Yes.
have booze, or I would
Well,
buy.
it's almost the same thing.
And yeah, now
No,
you know,
addiction's an addiction.
I love. But again, these Norman Love Confections
It's
is
incredible.
high-end chocolates
Yep.
where it's like little jewels. They look
Dude,
beautiful.
can we order it?
Yeah,
Can we
you
order
could
it?
not only.
Well, this
so-
I'm setting you up. Of course, I know you
thank you.
can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
whatever.
Can you order
He's a
it?
pro.
Yeah.
NormanLoveConfections.com. With
Do it.
Valentine's Day approaching,
You won't go wrong.
You will never go wrong. I mean, everybody that I've given these to or turned on to, they say, "Wow,
Yep.
that is really, really good." And it's one of those things that they are so like rich and indulgent. Like you could stop after 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah,
and
no,
it's
you
like,
don't want
oh,
to.
wow. Yeah.
No, you don't.
Well, you don't really. Want
I had
to.
it. I had it sitting in. I have a nice butcher block cutting station that I work on, and I thought I would put a nice box of it over to the side and leave it
They're
unattended.
gonna every time you walk by,
Every
you grab it.
I had to.
Yep.
I had to go move it.
That's what we did in my
I had to
house. My
move
wife,
it.
I put it on the island. In
I
the
don't
kitchen
go looking
by
for my
accident,
vitamins.
and it was
I
gone in
can't
like
find
3
my
days.
vitamins.
Same thing with me.
I
It seems like there was a little
She's
mouse.
like, did you take
There
your
was a mouse in my kitchen that
Did
kept
you-
nabbing these
Did you
chocolates.
take your vitamins today? No, I
No,
don't
but I
know
ate
where
my
they
chocolate.
are.
But you
They're-
took your,
but I
took your
took-
chocolates. You took your Norman Love Confections.
No.
They have 2 dessert salons. I'm
Oh.
glad you checked out the one in Boca.
Yeah.
That's on
That's a
St.
great
Andrews
one.
Boulevard,
Great one.
21202, right behind the Town Center Mall.
I don't think it could get better than that. They got
And-
another one I didn't
Yes,
know.
and
Okay.
they've
Delray.
opened 2 in South Florida, one in Delray Beach, 1911 South
It's
Federal
a little
Highway.
too uppy for me.
No,
I can't go to Del.
Oh,
I don't
Delray.
do Delray.
Delray has
I'm
gotten a little
scared.
too,
I'm a
too
little
many,
scared.
too many
I'm
New
scared.
Yorkers.
They'll tow my truck.
No.
I drive a pickup truck. What's this? Follow this guy.
Norman Love Confections. Again, he started. Norman Love is an actual person. He was a pastry chef, very accomplished, worked for the Ritz-Carlton chain, and then he found his true passion, which is chocolatier.
Yep.
And he started the shop, a
World
little shop
class.
in Fort Myers 25 years ago.
Yep.
And now they're expanding throughout Florida. They have these dessert salons throughout Florida, including 2 here, Boca Raton and Delray Beach. And you could go online to
Maybe you should go to
NormanLoveConfections.com.
Atlantic Village over here. There's, I see that
They
place
could.
booming a little
They.
bit.
I've been.
Moving
They need
south,
they
yeah.
need
talking-
foot traffic.
I've been
you know?
talking
Mayo's
to
trying
their
to push
brass.
it,
Yeah.
I think I could easily see them somewhere in Fort Lauderdale,
Yes,
somewhere
yes,
down
yes.
in the
Oh, they-
Hallandale.
I don't want to
area.
mention other names, but
Right.
they blow away everybody on
Oh,
Las
oh,
Olas.
it's so much better
There's-
than some
yeah.
of the other
Yeah.
chocolatiers
It's
around.
different. It's original.
And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that because they're a sponsor. I'm saying
No,
they're
Yeah,
a
it's
yeah,
sponsor.
our
no,
experiences.
for the most part, we are.
No,
no, he's good.
They're
He's
a-
great.
Here's
He's
how
great.
it works.
They do a
Pat.
great job.
They're a sponsor because I love them.
Yeah,
I
we
mean,
went in
like,
there
we
first.
went
They
in
weren't a
there.
sponsor when we first went in there.
They turned us on. I was like, oh yeah, I love it. And the dessert salons, like you can get a little breather. You know, let's say you
Was
drop
that his
the kids.
idea to name that? That's
Yeah.
a cool name.
Yeah.
Dessert
So
salon.
you go in. Besides, you can buy boxes of chocolate and little gift packs and things like that. But you
Right.
could take a little respite during the day. Let's say you drop the kids off at school and
He's
you want a
throwing
cup
the
of
words
coffee.
around.
Respite.
Look at this
Little
guy.
Respite. There you go.
Respite.
Yes,
too, yeah.
I was a writer.
Yeah.
But again, you can go in there and get yourself a nice cup of coffee, a pastry. They have macarons. You can kind of get
It's
yourself a
incredible.
little breather. It's a
They
great
do a
place.
really good job.
I love Norman Love Confections. We'll be getting together with them toward the end
How
of the
about
month.
flowers? You have a flower sponsor?
Not yet,
No.
but
Because
We'll work
here's
on
the
it.
thing. If you're married in
Yes.
a situation like Lubie with the new child at home,
yes.
you need to pull out every
All
gun
the
you got.
stops.
No,
Yeah,
listen.
100%
What
yes.
your wife went through with this child
Right.
and what
Well,
she's
the whole
going
thing
through,
is-
I
She will
want
never let you forget it.
If an
My
older
wife's great
mentor
at that.
could come, if you want to keep this as a never-ending love story with this young this young bulldozer you have there. This
Flowers, chocolates,
flowers,
and
chocolate.
champagne.
Spread the infield.
Yes.
Exactly.
Spread the infield.
Exactly.
And if you got a few shekels, go find some jewelry at K or
Even if
whatever
I
you got to
don't, I'll
do.
do what I have to do.
This is a big one. This is the
100%.
big one because
After
the
the baby,
emotions
yes.
are all over the place.
Yeah,
Yes,
no, right
100%.
after the first kid, you were
It's a
going to
big deal.
treat Shirley very well.
All
I'm
in.
sure you're going to be just showering her with chocolates, just
Definitely.
like throwing
Yes.
Throw the whole
making
thing.
it
Chocolate
rain.
mama.
Norman Love.
You want to know an inner circle secret?
Okay.
Get some good oil for the foot massages.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
She's
a
big
nice.
massage
I thought he was
Put
going.
that-
I thought he was
no,
going P Diddy
no,
on us. Get
no,
the
no.
value
Foot
of the
massage.
Okay.
She
Offer
does love a nice
anybody
foot massage.
anybody that's gone through a birth of a child that like this,
Yes.
and it's a beautiful son, right? You have your
Mm-hmm.
setup. Just put in there complimentary foot massage,
There
and
go.
you be the guy.
There you go.
There you are.
What an hour that was. Sports,
Definitely, we covered it all.
We carried
Economics.
everything, yeah.
chocolates.
Happy New Year.
It's
It's
like
all
dear instead of dear Abby, it's dear Michael.
Mr. Pat.
Dear Pat. I love you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
same here.
Happy
I've
Happy
New
New
enjoyed the
Year.
show,
I hope
guys.
it's a
Thank you.
very successful
Good luck to your canes.
and healthy one.
Yeah.
Good news on Joe Casella, friend. He has gotten through his heart surgery. Friend of the show, former sports agent, and glad to hear that he's doing well and on the mend. So, all right, that's going to do it for today. Tomorrow, Reno Sorbonne and Stacy
Heritage.
Ritter previewing the Visit Lauderdale Food and Wine Festival.
2:30.
Friday, I just got word we're going to be at Gulfstream, and you are always welcome
I
to join
love
us out there.
Joe Beja and
Joe
Gulfstream.
Beja is
At
great.
10 Palms.
At 10 Palms,
Is anybody
1 o'clock.
there anymore?
Yes,
Yes,
they
yeah,
do.
they
They,
actually
do,
get
they
around
did
to
really
crap.
well during the holidays.
Good.
And
The
they've
season
enhanced
is here for
their
them, yes.
food. I
I was
like
so
their,
sorry to hear Christine left there.
Oh, yeah. But and joining us on Friday for the show,
Miss
also
Nikki.
from Visit Lauderdale, Nikki
Miss Nikki
Mohan,
Mohan.
formerly of Channel 10. Nikki, friend of the show, and she's also going to be talking about some of the goings on, and we love seeing her out at the racetrack. Do you know she's a degenerate? She grew up around the horses. She loves
Yeah, her dad's
betting
a
the
big,
ponies.
I want to know her now. I don't believe we've met, but
She fits right in.
I
She
want to
gets out there.
This
she's
is my
out the
time.
windows more than Defoe.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
salivating.
No, she's
Nobody, no. The antique collector is at the window. Don't you know? Nobody beats the antique
nobody
collector.
beats the-
No, he's
It's
in a league
it's all
of his
good.
own.
We have a great time out there. We
Where
have a
is
great
the
time.
antique collector?
He's
He's MIA.
He's out collecting
Yeah.
antiques. There. We,
He's
we
doing his
he's
antiquing.
getting up there. We let him kind of
He's letting
take
go
some of the
thing.
week
Is he in
off.
that Geico commercial yet?
Oh,
Turn it to your parents.
yes.
Oh, yeah, no, we're past that.
All good. All right.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Enjoy every $9.99 lunch special here at Shenanigans.
Please come in and enjoy.
and enjoy every sandwich.
Thank you.